day one of the van build. It's the only good weather day of the week, so we have to get on with doing the roof vents, cutting the holes into the top, installing the roof vents, and doing the solar
panels. Yeah, I think it's snowing on Friday. Potentially snowing on Friday. So yeah, one day. So we've actually been planning for this van build for probably the last 2 months. We did want to go travelling. We didn't want to go to Europe, but then I lost my job due to COVID, and we had lockdown 1, lockdown 2, and then whatever we're in now, some sort of weird system. So we thought we'd just get another van and start building. We've detailed absolutely everything we do need to do. So prepping, cutting the vents, solar panels, sound deadening, blah blah blah. We're going to crack on with that today. Solar panels and vents going in and cleaning. So hopefully we'll get all of that done. Fingers crossed.
Alrighty.
So we just finished cleaning the roof and the inside. So now we've got to cut the holes.
All ready to cut some holes. No, we're not. Do we need to rush treat first? No, we'll rush treat once the holes are cut. It's time to cut some holes.
Okay, so we've got the Skymaxx roof vent. It comes in like 3 different parts. You've got the top shell here, which has a fancy little mechanism on it. So you can lift it up, back down again. And then you've got this inner flange bit, and this bit sits on the inside of the van. The flange fits into this gap here, like that, and then there's screw holes. You can see the screw holes like around there. And it compresses the flange to the actual vent. And then once all that's done, you've then got the nice cover for the inside, which has a bug screen on one side, a blackout blind as well.
That is so nice. I like that.
In Willow we fitted, was it Thule?
However you want to say it.
I don't know. The people that make roof boxes and stuff, we fitted their vent system to start with, and then we replaced the vent with the Max fan because we liked it a bit more, but we left the other one in, just the skylight. Anywho, so we have this.
We upgraded for this one. And I love it. This is nice. This bit is nice.
Yeah. I quite rate this mechanism actually.
I know. Do you remember when we were first making Willow? We went to a caravan place and we just wanted to look around some caravans just to, I don't know, see if we could get some ideas. Just 'cause it's just down the road from us. And we saw like these kinds with the mechanism, with the plastic mechanism that just like slides.
It's like a bar there. Like that.
And we thought, oh, how tacky.
Yeah. It looks a little bit weird, isn't it? But
this, I don't know if it's like this one's just better, or
it's actually quite.
If we've just gotten on board with the whole caravan situation.
I don't think this is caravan. I think this is more tiny home. The Thule one is more classic.
Oh, damn.
Cool.
Right, should we fit?
Yep.
Let's fit.
Thought whilst I'm up here, I might as well just clean the whole roof. Drilled step holes in all the corners just so that I've got a little bit more space when I use the angle grinder to cut the holes, so hopefully it goes well, hopefully. hole number 2. This is a tense moment in any van build, but I think it looks a lot worse before it looks like better.
Is that hole number 2?
I seem to have gone well. Just dry fitted the 2 vents. We've got the Skymaxx, just a normal vent at the back above the bed. And then we've got the MaxxAir fan at the front, with the idea being that when you're cooking, you can obviously turn it on. So we've got one there. It's a shame we couldn't go any further forward, but there's a beam, like a structural support, support beam that runs there, so we can't cut through that. But we've got the Max fan there and the Skymaxx. So that all went well. What we did before we actually fitted them though was you can sort of see the paint that we just applied, spray paint, and that will just seal off the metal so that it can't rust. Yeah, rust prevention basically. So we've done that to both. So we're going to go grab some lunch and then come out and fit them properly with the mastic strips and the Sikaflex to bond it all in, and then we're well on our way. So we just spent the morning cleaning out the van. We used old rags, loads of cloths, sponges, soap. Dish soap worked actually really well to cut through some of the grease and the muck. So we got all that done this morning. We haven't done the floor yet, just because we're walking on it, it's going to get quite mucky. But now we're just going around and treating any rust, surface rust, that's in the van, and also spraying on a preventative layer of protective paint. When we bought the van, we sort of checked and made sure that there was no structural rust at all, so underneath the van is fully coated already. But we just wanted to be doubly sure on the inside because moisture's in the van and stuff like that. Sort of looks like a zebra van. Or a cow, I don't know.
So stay forward with van build. Progress is going really good. Like compared to doing Willow, this is like a world away. It's so much easier because we know what we're doing. Even things like figuring out where the boiler's going to go. Like we don't have to get our head around the boiler and how it works and how the gas connects. Like we know all of that and we know where it's going to fit in the van. It's just so much easier than first time around. Sound deadening went in yesterday. So today we are putting insulation up on the walls. So we're just using a cut optimizer to figure out the best cuts to make on our insulation. So we've got Super Quilt. This is the same stuff we used for Willow. Basically love it because it's easier to work with. We use like the more solid stuff, was like Kingspan, like Celotex board on the floor because obviously it's solid. But for the walls and stuff we used this Super Quilt. When you cut it comes apart, so basically inside here, let me show you this bit. Inside are all these layers of foil and I'm going to assume plastic. So all because it's so layered, it works so well as insulation, and I can't remember the exact figures, but essentially it's got like a higher grade of insulation than we could have for the same thickness Celotex board. But today, yeah, we're cutting out and sticking, cutting and gluing. Let's insulate.
We've got some of them cut, and we've got the spray adhesive, this stuff. So we're going to spray it onto there, onto the roof wherever it needs to go.
So basically, before we came in and we numbered each panel, like this bit of roof is one panel.
That's number 6, in there is 15, in there is 16, so on and so forth.
So we took all the measurements of that and wrote them down, and then we went into the garage where we've got the massive workbench that Amir made, and we've just been like rolling out the insulation, measuring it out, drawing it out, and then cutting it with this. What's the cutting tool?
I don't. It's like a mini cutter. It's like a mini cutter thing. Anyway, it's motorized. Motorized scissors, really, isn't it? Kind of like a motorized pizza cutter.
A motorized pizza cutter.
Yeah.
But it's not like. It's like it's got anyway. Amazing. So now we're on to sticking it up. So I don't know if you can see, but it's one of those days where your breath is very much staying in the air. It's day 5 of the van build, and it's the last day before we take our midweek weekend. Oh, we're just so happy with the progress we've made this week. It's been like a whole world away from what it was like to build Willow, because we just know what we're doing and we're just like cracking on and we're working smarter. We've set hours for the days, right? So we work roughly like 9 to 5.
On Willow, we sort of worked, was it 9 in the morning, and then it'd be like 9 PM when we finally finish, and after 2 or 3 days that's it, you're done. Whereas now we're setting like actual work hours, and it's so much easier. I don't feel like
it's so much easier.
Yeah.
It's made so much difference.
I definitely recommend that for anyone building out a van. Set hours and stick to it. I also found that when I'm tired, I'm useless. I just get grumpy and I make mistakes and hurt myself. So yeah, hours are really helping. The weather is not. Look at this.
I don't know how people do this in places like Canada. I genuinely don't.
Or maybe they're hardier.
Hardier, yeah, probably. Gets below 10 degrees and that.
Yeah, so we've done sound deadening on the walls. We've still got to do it on the floor, which I guess we kind of got to do first. Then we'll put the battens in. Yeah, battens across, insulation, ply, subfloor done.
Sweet.
And then finish the wall insulation.
Yeah.
Run some cables.
Yeah. So it's a big day today because we've got all 4 of us working on the van. Yeah,
my brother and sister are coming out as well.
So we're going to get some...
Should get some good progress.
Shit done.
Hopefully.
Let's go. So we're leaving patches where we know we're going to be drilling through for like vents and things like that, because we drilled through this stuff before and it like clogs up the drill and it's all black and sticky. It's horrible. So we're just leaving them off and only putting them in places we know we're not drilling.
The girls have just finished putting the sound deadening on the wall and cutting the battens to size. So me and Aqil are going to jump in the van. We've got to place the battens down and then also run the battery to battery cable from the front of the van halfway down the van. So we'll cut little notches out for that. So we're just putting the floor battens in at the moment. So you can see we've cut them all to the right width, just to make sure there's plenty of slack in between. But what we do need to do is run this cable for the battery to battery charger all the way to the front of the van. And I don't want to loop it over the top of the van because that's too much cable, and to minimise the voltage drop we'd have to have a really thick cable. So what I've done is taken a shortcut and we're going to go underneath the subfloor, which means we have to cut these semicircular bridges out of the battens so that they house this cable, give it plenty of slack. So we're using a scrap bit of wood to drill the holes as a guide for the hole saw bit. So you just get a piece of scrap, drill a hole all the way through and hold this above the batten that you want to cut the hole into, and this will act as a guide for this hole saw bit to basically run through. And it works quite well. You get yourself sort of that deep using that, and then you can finish off just without, because you've got the cut already in there. There you go. We're using these easy drive screws. These ones, they're self-drilling pilot holes in the metal. It's easier to drill a pilot hole in the wood, which my brother's doing now. So he's drilling a quick hole in there, and then I'll drive a screw all the way in, and then it's solid.